If you think Florida only invented theme parks and questionable spring break decisions, you might be missing something much more delicious. Because, believe it or not, some iconic foods were either invented or popularized right here in Florida. A pie that can thicken without heat, a sandwich that started a city rivalry, a fried crab snack invented by immigrant workers, and a breakfast drink that changed the global citrus industry. Do you know the funny part? Millions of people eat these foods every day without realizing their story begins in Florida. So today, let's explore 5 foods that were born in the beautiful Sunshine State and the surprising history behind them. The number 1 in this list is key lime pie. If Florida has a signature dessert, it's probably key lime pie. The pie comes from the Florida Keys, likely sometime in the late 1800s. One famous story credits a woman known as Aunt Sally, who supposedly worked as a cook for William Curry, one of the richest residents of Key West at the time. According to local legend, she combined 3 ingredients that were easy to find in the Keys: key lime juice, egg yolks, and sweetened condensed milk. The condensed milk was important because fresh milk spoiled quickly in the tropical heat before refrigeration was a thing. And here's the fascinating culinary trick. The acid in lime juice causes the proteins in egg yolks and condensed milk to thicken the filling, meaning the pie can set even without baking. Cooking has more relations with chemistry than you can imagine. But historians also point out something interesting. The earliest confirmed recipes only appear in newspapers in the 1930s, so the exact origin story is still debated. So the real inventor might never be known, but one thing is certain. If someone serves you a bright green key lime pie, locals will immediately tell you it's wrong, because real key lime filling is pale yellow, not neon green. The number 2 in our list is the Cuban Sandwich. This sandwich started a rivalry between 2 Florida cities. Its story begins in Ybor City, Tampa in the late 1800s when thousands of Cuban immigrants arrived to work in cigar factories. Workers needed something cheap, filling, and fast for lunch. Local cafes started serving a sandwich made with roast pork, ham, Swiss cheese, pickles, mustard, and Cuban bread. Early newspaper references to the Cuban sandwich appear in Tampa around 1906, suggesting it was already well known there by then. But Miami also claims the sandwich. And that's where the argument begins. The Tampa version traditionally includes Genoa salami, reflecting the Italian immigrants who also lived in Ybor City. Miami, on the other hand, says salami does not belong. Tampa insists it absolutely does. And that small difference has fueled a friendly food feud for more than a century. Moving on to number 3, deviled crab. Cuban sandwiches were not the only thing cigar workers in Tampa were eating. They were also eating something else, deviled crab. Despite the name, it isn't served in a shell. It's actually a fried croquette made from crab meat, breadcrumbs, spices, and peppers. The dish developed in Ybor City in the early 1900s within the multicultural immigrant community of Spanish, Cuban, and Italian workers. Street vendors sold these croquettes from carts outside cigar factories. Workers leaving long shifts could buy a hot snack for just a few cents. Some historians even link the rise of deviled crab to labor strikes in the 1920s, when families needed cheap, filling food made from local seafood. It was simple, affordable, portable, and more importantly, it was good. Exactly the kind of food that survives long enough to become tradition. Going forward to number 4, Conch Fritters. In the Florida Keys, seafood has always been part of everyday life. One of the most famous examples is Conch Fritters. Conch is a large sea snail common throughout Caribbean waters. Its meat is tough, which means it needs to be tenderized or chopped before cooking. So cooks developed a clever solution. They chopped the meat finely, mixed it with flour, peppers, and spices, and fried it into small fritters. Everything is better if served fried, right? The dish actually arrived in Florida through Bahamian immigrants who brought many of their culinary traditions to the Keys in the late 1800s. For decades, conch fritters were basically dock food, something fishermen ate after long days at sea. Today, they're served in starred seafood restaurants all over Florida, but they started as a practical way to turn a tough shellfish into something delicious. And the last one in our list is frozen concentrated orange juice. The final Florida invention on this list didn't come from a kitchen. It came from science. In the 1940s, during World War II, the US government needed a way to give soldiers enough vitamin C. Fresh orange juice was the most popular source of vitamin, but it spoiled too quickly. So scientists, working with the Florida citrus industry, developed a new solution: frozen concentrated orange juice. They removed most of the water from orange juice, froze the concentrate, and shipped it overseas. When soldiers wanted juice, they simply added water. After the war, the product became wildly popular in American homes. Suddenly, families everywhere could drink orange juice at breakfast, and Florida oranges became part of everyday life. Food history rarely begins in luxury kitchens. Sometimes it begins with immigrant workers trying to feed their families. Sometimes it comes from fishermen experimenting with tough ingredients. And sometimes it comes from scientists trying to solve wartime problems. But somehow, all of those stories meet in Florida. A pie born in the tropical Keys, a sandwich that sparked a city rivalry, a fried crab snack from cigar factories, a Caribbean seafood fritter, and a laboratory invention that changed breakfast forever. 5 foods, 5 stories, all starting in one surprisingly influential place on the culinary map, the Sunshine State. That's all for today. Please like and subscribe.